Hi, Patelas. Welcome to another episode. My name is Melody, and today we have a very interesting topic for you guys. Before I tell you what it is, let my guests introduce themselves.
Hi guys, it's me Sandra. I'm here again. It's an honor to be here, and I can't wait for us to go through our topic. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Kizito Mora and I'm happy to be here. Can't wait.
Yeah. So the topic today is on hookup culture and dating. So I'm just going to ask you guys, what does hookup culture mean to you personally?
Okay. So, for me, or based on the research that I've done, hookup culture is more of being with someone and not having to commit, invest emotionally, or even your time. It's more of like a one night stand, or at least, you know, I get with you and I can get with someone else without having to commit emotionally or any other instances.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the emotional aspect is not involved.
Just physicality.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, do you think it affects how we view commitment?
Yeah, I think it does. Um, of course, when you're hooking up, you're not looking for commitment because it's more of one person with many multiple partners.
Yeah.
So hookup and commitment don't go in the same sentence.
I think I was just seeing somewhere that mentioned uh, hookup culture is more of like you're just lonely and you just want something to feed into, but you don't want to commit, you don't want to put in the time. You're lonely, you want someone to give you company. But so I think it has a negative impact on commitment. Can I say that? I think that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, can you really separate like physical connection and emotional connection?
Mm,
Or do you think lazima tu mtu ata end up catch
yeah.
feelings?
May think ladies do end up catching feelings. I don't know about gents because I'm a lady, but um, I think it does. I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, ladies, we are more emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but I feel like if you're trying to hook up, if you're in that era, just let it be known to the other person that by
Yeah.
the way, no feelings attached, so that in the end, if maybe they catch feelings, at least you'd have told them and don't be a bad person, if that makes sense.
So nasema like hookup culture is what we call talking stages.
Not really.
Not really. What's the difference?
So I think for me, I would say talking stage is just when you're trying to know someone.
Okay.
Yeah, it has no probably I don't know I don't think it has any physical intimacy involved. Most of the time, it's just basic talking like what's your favorite color, what's your name, what do you do, what are your hobbies, things like that. But when it comes to hookups, it's purely physical. I think
Okay.
so. It's just I'm with this person and. We don't have to really know what you go through. We don't have to get into all that for the hookup culture. Yeah.
So do you have to tell like one of your talking stages or one of your hookups that you're talking to other people?
I think it's very important to know one health wise that you are with several people in case someone is not um how best should I put it? Like if someone is not safe in this case, then they should know that you have multiple partners, or at least if someone is mm, nimesema hivyo vizuri. Yeah, if someone is not safe, they should let you know that they have multiple partners and you as well have multiple partners to prevent anything, be it health wise, be it emotional wise. Hey, I think it's better to know at the start, from the start, that this is just hookups, or if this is talking to dating, it should be upfront. Yeah.
Do you have?
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's not talked about a lot, the health aspect. Because imagine you're with someone and you think you're with just this person alone.
Yeah.
Then siku moja you collapse or something happens, you go to
Okay.
hospital and you're told, oops, you have gonorrhea. Then you're like, oh my God,
When?
I thought I
How?
had, yeah,
I
one
know.
partner. So it's important to just be open from the get go and leave it to the other person to decide if they want to continue pursuing this.
Form of interaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think withholding like emotional availability in, say, like even dating, even hookups, would you say it is a form of control?
Hookups, I don't think it is. Okay, I
Yes.
think in
Because you want to
hookups,
keep this situation going, but you don't want to commit.
I think if hookups in this case work in the case where emotions are not tied to it, withholding control will have no effect. But in the field where people are dating, people are committing emotionally. If you withhold control, then you definitely want to keep it going. You want them held at that point. But
Yeah.
for hookups, it really doesn't matter per se.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Ha. So now let's say you are pursuing somebody. Now you're dating. Do you think love can survive in a culture that is built on we want instant? Mimi nikitaka nataka kupewa sahi. I don't think about anything else. It's now and now and now. Do you think love is possible in this, in how we are right now? Because I would say our society right now is very, we can say progressive, but also just tunapenda vitu
Instant
instantaneous,
gratification.
that many people don't believe in love right now. If you ask, they're just like, me, I'm going to get what I get and leave. So do you think it's still possible to find love today?
Yeah, I think it's possible. If okay, I agree with you though you've said like in this era that we are in, like it's so hard to find something genuine. It's hard like to find or to know if someone is genuine, but it's still possible to find love. That is only if you find somebody who's exactly, yeah, somebody who's in the same wavelength as you. Assuming I want to like I like this person and he doesn't like me back, he just wants to, hook up and be done. Definitely love is not going to
Yeah.
be. Yeah,
So you just have to find people who share the same values.
exactly. And how you can find such people is being open about it from the get
From
go.
the start.
Yeah, just tell somebody, but they like you. Do you like me? No. If you don't,
We
then
move on.
yeah, let's keep it moving. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just support that. Love can still be found once your values are aligned. I think, yeah. But in hookup culture, if that's love can survive in such an environment where it's on demand because you don't have respect for each other's values, you don't have respect for what the other person desires at the time. So love can't exist in such a place. But as of finding love, yes, you can find love, but then it entails a lot in finding the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think as women we benefit more from dating or hookup culture than men do?
If you say
Kuna
benefits,
man
benefits is
behind the camera.
broad. Benefits is very broad. Maybe you can expound better, money wise, or
Whichever way.
Mhm. Eh, I really can't see we benefit more. Maybe because I haven't, but uh, but I think it depends. It depends on the kind of person you are. Like we were discussing, if you're a nice person, most of the time you're the one who gets hurt more, and you don't feel like you benefit. But if you're nonchalant and you don't really put emotions into things, you're very secure emotionally in this case. But money wise, we can't say we benefit as ladies, or
Yeah.
at least we go on dates and get
Yeah.
gifts and stuff. Yeah.
What do you think, Mura?
I think it's two way. Like we both men benefit as we benefit. I think men benefit physically, in dating, as we benefit. We benefit the way Santa said, like we benefit in terms of like the dates, nini, nini. And I feel like it takes more from us because we get invested emotionally. So yeah, it's two way. They
Yeah.
benefit, we benefit.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, what do you think, Melody?
I yeah, I would say the same. I think we both benefit in very different ways. But of course, as society is, of it always views as the women are getting more of it
Yeah, out
than,
of it.
because it's more tangible. Like we can see, if he gives you money to go and do your nails and do your hair, we're gonna see it. But for men, maybe it's just a physical aspect. Yeah. Um, do you think now on like what I was talking about, love and everything, do you think the hookup culture makes it difficult to form emotional connections?
Yeah, I think it hookups make it hard to form emotional connections because people know is I'm only investing physically in this situation. You don't. There's no trust that is built in. For example, if I want to be vulnerable in this case, I can't really be vulnerable in a space where we haven't built a foundation for us to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Hookups don't have a foundation to build proper relationships or at least proper emotional connections. Yeah.
You had asked a question earlier, like, do you think it is necessary to go through like a whole phase for women? What do you think? Give us the answer you give us. Or maybe
I
your mind
said,
has changed.
no, my mind hasn't changed. I think I said it's all a matter of choice. Like the whole face, it's all a matter of choice. Where if you want to experience that, you would, and if you don't want, you'll keep yourself for whatever things you want to. So I think it's everything really just goes around choice. Yeah, if you want to, you will. If you don't, you won't.
But
Yeah.
also, experience is the best teacher.
Uta
You
experience
need to
kila
go through
siku.
some things.
Yeah.
Do you think people should feel guilty for pursuing like pleasure over connection, like in hookups? Because mostly it's just instant gratification instead of connection. Is there guilt tied to it? I think, okay, I would say if somebody is religiously inclined, obviously there would be
Guilt.
a bit of guilt that you would feel. Yeah, but if not, okay, I don't know. Let me leave it there.
I see,
Do you have
I
something
see
to
where
say?
you're going with that.
Yeah.
We were talking about if someone is religiously inclined, they might feel like this goes against my religious values, but we also have personal values,
Yeah.
and that also comes down to personality. Like a narcissistic personality obviously will not feel some type of way about it, but somebody who's gentle, nice, has all these good values,
Cares about other
yeah,
people.
yeah, will definitely feel guilty. And
Yeah.
I feel like um most people who pursue this, like the whole face and all that, the hookups, I don't know if you guys would agree, but they are like their personality is more inclined to less of the the value, yeah, the values of like the good values, they're more inclined to, I don't know how to put this, like they feel like it's their right, it's,
Entitled
yeah,
to it.
exactly, they're entitled and they don't feel any type of way about the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask a question now based on that. Like when you say that most people who are on this other end, those who have no guilt whatsoever, could it be because of previous interactions with people? It forms because probably they were rejected multiple times, they had bad experiences, and now that is what they want to get into because it has no emotions attached to it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Because when you just mentioned it, because I think some people feel entitled because someone wronged them before, they're entitled to wrong you again and again, and they have no guilt to it. So yeah, I think that could be a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. And people should seek therapy.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah.
From please
Kuje
tell us.
therapy. You need therapy. I need therapy. We all need therapy.
Yeah. Okay, so the world as it is now, I think we've become very accommodating to a lot of things, right? So as you may know, kuna monogamous relationships and polyamorous relationships. What are your thoughts on polyamorous relationships? Having
More than one.
more than one partner. Yeah. And you all know each other, you're committed to each other, but you're like a group. Do you think they can work? Or do you think they work?
If it's a personal point of view, I think they're lying to themselves. It can't work. I think based on how we were made to give proper full attention to just one person. If it's something that's serious in this case, if you're dating for probably marriage or at least settling in together in this case, you can't, you just lying to yourself. Mi ndasema tu ni kujidanganya. I think I would lean more on monogamous in this case, because tukiona instances hata ya watu wenye wako na bibi wawili watatu, they have no peace whatsoever.
Yeah.
You can't convince me that polyamorous, right,
Or polygamous.
or polygamous types of relationships can work and have peace. Yeah, I don't think it does work.
What do you think?
Yeah, me too. I don't think it's feasible. I don't think they work anyway. Because of course, if let's assume this is the polyamorous relationship and I'm the guy, I'll give you attention, but on some days I give her more attention. Like and you know
Yeah.
how we ladies can get, you know.
Actually.
Yeah, so I feel like okay, for some people it could work, but only for so long. Yeah.
Okay. So does any of you have a question?
Yeah. I think I just asked the same question about what do you guys think dating is dating purposefully for marriage? Okay, acha tuanze na talking stage. So there's talking stage, there's dating, and then there's courtship. Now for talking stage, based on what I know, is just the basic talk, like this is my name, this is what I do, this is what I like,
Yeah.
and stuff. And then now there's dating. Now there are people who say dating is for marriage, and there are people who say date multiple people, go out on dates with everyone that you think is your type, I guess. And then from there, now you zone down to this people. Then now you get to your final person who now you move to courtship with. So what's your opinion on all that?
Maybe Melody can start.
I think it's good to experience people. Personally, for me, I think I wouldn't get to courtship and marriage without having experienced you not only physically, emotionally, having gotten to know you and all of that. So I think it's necessary to go through all those stages to nitpick your person. But okay, maybe happened on later a bit of controversy. I don't think that you have to, unless you're sleeping with multiple people, I don't think you have to let every person know that I'm talking to another person, as long as you're not involved physically with them when you're in the talking stage. Yeah. That's what I think. Now, when you get to like dating, and okay, even if you get to dating, I'm dating only you. Why would I be talking to somebody else? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the way Melody has said, like dating means you're serious and
We're pursuing
you've narrowed
something.
down,
Yeah.
to this person, and you guys also have to agree. Are we dating? Why are we dating anyway? Is it for marriage? Is it for fun? Yeah. So I feel like these stages, Zina, they should build up to something, and like as much as it's building up to something, sometimes you cannot reach the marriage stage. And now you have to, that's why Melody is saying, and I agree with you, like you have to go through many people,
to
to
kiss many
identify,
frogs.
to know Doje, like I like this type of behavior, I don't like this type of behavior. This is my go-to person, this is not my go-to person. So
And do you
yeah.
think right now people are dating because we have a connection, or because you make me feel good about myself? Is it more about validation that, like, okay, for men, sorry, but like a man would go after a woman because, oh, she's beautiful, she's the most beautiful girl in her friend group, I want her. But you don't really have a connection. Me personally, I feel like most dating usually inclines on that side. Like, you don't even know this person. If I came and asked you what's your girlfriend's favorite color, you don't know,
Yeah, you don't
because
know
you just know she's beautiful, and that's it. Yeah. So people, sorry.
I just wanted to ask, now that you've gotten to that point, do we have whys in dating? Like, I could be dating because I need a guy to give me money. I could be dating because the guy has the convenience that comes with this. So, are there whys to dating? And should we have whys, or should we have a concrete goal?
Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, from when you meet someone and you start talking, you let your intentions be known from then. You don't beat up around the bush. Like, me, I want you because, okay,
You have
yeah,
money.
you have money. I know you can take care of me. Also, maybe we have similar interests. Yeah. So I think there should be wise to dating, not just
Dating just
for
because
the
she's pretty.
sake. Yeah.
But she's pretty is a why, right?
Yeah,
Okay, it is a why, but it's a very superficial
Weak.
why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you think they should be that deep anyway? Like we can both be pretty and then we like each other along the way.
yeah. That's what I also wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys believe in when you know, like you seen this person, you just feel like,
I've
like,
fallen victim to that a lot of times.
yeah,
But the problem is you can be feeling that way, but you can never know how the other person is feeling. I
Yeah.
feel
true.
like it's so
But
hard.
you have to just
Take the
shoot the
risk.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, ikiingia sawa.
Yeah. So I think I also have a question now that you've asked it. Like when you go on Instagram and then someone says, "When I saw her, I knew she was my wife." Like
Yeah.
immediately.
Fairy tale.
So does that work? I'm not trying to get vitabu because at this point I also don't know because
Honestly.
you might see someone, the height is what you want, the
Yeah.
body is everything, the style and everything, how he talks, and you're like, this is actually my guy, this is the guy. At I see my guy, this is the guy. And then now when you get into it, you realize they're not the guy. So I think dating is actually just so broad and intense in all areas. But yeah, so
And then you can find your guy in more than one guy. Okay, I'm not here to judge or anything, but I know many people have fallen victim to, I'm seeing this guy, but he's married and he has a family, but our connection is so deep and
uh-huh,
intense. So what do you think about such scenarios? Because you can't tell somebody, hey, don't do that. That's
uh-huh,
not right.
uh-huh.
Because he's making you feel good. He's
Mm.
doing everything that you want him to do, but he's married.
Mhm.
What do you think about those situations? We're not here to judge. By the way, let me
Yeah,
just
it's
say
a
we're just
safe space.
yeah,
It's a
safe
safe
space, just
space.
having a
You're just
conversation.
having opinions,
Mm.
but it doesn't
Mm,
matter. Um, I think it goes down to your values as well and your
mm,
principles. If you can date a married guy, who are we to stop you in this
Yeah,
case?
yeah.
true.
If you can date, if it does not bother you at any point,
Mm,
we can't stop you from doing it. But if
mm,
it's matters principle, then you shouldn't date a married guy in this
yeah.
sense. Yeah. What do you have?
Yeah, it comes down to values and
Mm,
also like if you I believe in writing a lot. Yeah. So when you write, like, I know it's cliche, but people usually say write down the type of man
I was
that
just
you
about to say
want.
that.
Write
Yeah.
down like and be very specific
Specific.
about it.
mhm,
And then you meet this guy and he's ticking all of these things, but Yamushoni, he's married.
mm,
And that's not in your list. My sister, do not go for it because
yeah.
Try.
kitakuramba.
Mm,
But if it's in your list that you don't mind he's married and you can go with the flow, then well and good. And that's
mm,
circles back to values and
yeah.
personality.
And I feel like this kind of hookup culture has been promoted even in music. Like there's this song, uh, you told me, Anitaji, lie about us. You told me you were going to leave her for me long ago. And then the man is like, eventually I will, but
Yeah.
you just have to take it slow. I
Yeah.
don't want to break her heart,
Oh, wow.
but I want you.
Here's a plan.
It's crazy. But again, not judging,
Yeah,
to
no
each their
judgment.
own. So do you think it's necessary when you're talking to someone to put a label to it? Like you have to say, now you're my boyfriend or
But
you're
talking
my
stage,
girlfriend. Yeah.
Ama you've passed the talking stage.
Let's say past the talking stage.
I think it's important to put labels so that you don't, yeah, get hurt
Mm.
or just
Misunderstand.
exactly, yeah, just not
Unaweza
to
kuwa demu yake na yeye.
Yeah, kuna dem
sio
mwingine
mtu
watano.
wako, yeah,
Imagine.
just make it known,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
So
yourself and also for others. There's I don't know if it was a movie or a book I was reading. Oh, I don't know, but it's something very common that happens where there's a lady who had never before posted her man on social media. Okay, we're in the posting era.
mhm.
Yeah, so she never ever posted her man on social media. So she just came up and said they're getting married. So siku ya get married, sijui what happened. The pictures were posted online, and it ended up being that this man has several other wives
Oh my
who
god.
he obviously did not tell her.
Mhm.
he has so many other kids and all of that. So this leads me to the question: do you think it's important to put your relationship out there ndio in case
Kuna
mtu
mtu
wako
ako na yeye.
yeah ajitokeze mapema before you get in deep?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh, by putting it out there, I think I'd say not everything. Like once in a while, post them there. It's their birthday, post them so that people can acknowledge you're seeing someone in this case. And if anyone has anything against it, they can confront you right now. But then to avoid all these other dramas and such things, if you're open with your partner from the word go, you can always keep it a secret. But if they're not open and you have kama unashuku where to post,
Yeah.
wacha dunia ikwambie. Yeah.
I think we are very lucky as our generation, or like in the past 10 years, there's been a lot of development in social media, and we've all become a global village. Now, I think dating has become very different than how it was for our parents.
Yeah.
Because our parents, they could get away with anything. Yeah, man, Mombasa, he has a whole family there. You will never know until 20 years later, you're an adult. Now they tell you, okay, so. But today, it's
Everything
both a
is
blessing and a curse, I would say. But again, like we said, values. If you choose to go in with honesty, well and good, less
Yeah.
stress for you.
Yeah.
If you don't, just be ready to face the consequences because they will find out. Yeah. Mm. Now, uh, do people, what can I say? Do you think hookup culture is making us like more confident in ourselves sexually and, exploring, or is it now just breaking things down? Is it exploitative or is it empowering?
Mm, I think I would say it all depends on what you want out of it from the start. If you're doing it just to get even with someone, it's exploitative. If you're doing it sasa watu wengine wanafanyanga for what reasons juu hata mi sijui. But
Empowerment.
how do you get empowered?
Like,
Explain better.
okay,
Uh-huh.
I would speak for women because, men, I would say generally, again, don't come for me, but men tend to get away with a lot when it comes to like even having sexual encounters. It's just like
I mean,
that
it's
for them.
just
But for women, it's more like, okay, you know what? I am a sexual being. I should be able to pursue this and, feel okay with getting who I want when I want, no strings attached, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
hapo kidogo ni kama sina maoni.
I don't
But
know.
but I still think it's more of what you want out of it.
Yeah.
If you know what you want out of it, if what you want to get out of it is just empowerment and to feel good about it, that's you. And then there's if you want to probably get even with someone, or at least to prove that you're something to people, it all lies on what you want out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. But in my own personal, yeah, I don't think hookup is healthy because
Okay.
at the end of the day, you just end up feeling empty and unfulfilled, and you keep wanting more. So
More
that's
and more
why
and more.
it's never like a never
There's
ending
no
cycle.
contentment in hookup.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah,
Let me just add it this
yes,
way. I
please.
think hookups is more of like a drug addiction.
It is.
It has no cure unless you choose to stop it. I think because naiacha tu hivyo. I think it's more of like an addiction. It's not because hookup has no pure intentions out of it.
Yeah.
It has nothing in pure out of it. Purity comes in the sense of we unataka tu hivyo naishane hivyo, but otherwise proper intentions are not found in hookup. So it's just not the best way to go, I guess.
I think like in the same light, how maybe after you ended a relationship, people usually tell you to get over that person, you need to get under somebody else. So is that like healing or harmful really for you at the end of the day? Because some people say I did that and I felt great.
Just for a while. It's just for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. because after doing that, yes, you'll be like, oh, I feel good, and then later on you
You're
get
like,
flashbacks
oh,
and you're like, oh God, what did I do? Or what did I put myself into? So yeah, it's not really a healthy practice. It's healthy just for a while. Ni kama tu kuvuta bangi. It's very good for some good time,
but
and then you get back to the reality.
yeah.
Uliachwa. So yeah.
Okay. Now,
Uh-huh.
friends with benefits.
Hey, mambo ni. Uh-huh.
What do you think? Is that sustainable, or is it just doomed to be the end of your friendship?
Uh-huh. I'll still put it in the category of hookups
Hmm.
because you're just there for a good time, and that's
But now
it.
this is somebody that
You're
you are
friends
close
with.
with.
I think mostly if you people are dating on the other side, you're doomed. But if you guys are not dating, and probably he or she's the only friends with benefits in this case, you don't know where you might end up. You might actually just start dating. But if you guys are dating on both ends, it's doomed.
Okay. What do you
And just main is a question. Why would you go for someone who's your friend?
Because I think
But you're
the
best
rationale,
friend.
I know, the rationale behind friends with benefits is like, we already have that connection. You know, we
Yeah,
already
which is
have it.
friendship.
Yeah, it's friendship. We can just, take it a notch higher, and then I can only be doing it. So, okay, in
With no
short, it's
strings
like you're
attached.
dating, in
Yeah.
short,
Yeah,
because that's what
because
dating is
you
at
have
the
a
end of the day.
connection, you're emotionally connected with this guy because they're there with you.
Yeah,
They're there for you when you need them, when
yeah.
you're going through a tough time. Oh, sorry. They're there for you when you need them when you're going through a tough time. So you have an emotional connection. But now it's more of like you're deceiving yourself, like any friends with
I
benefits. Like any
know.
una date.
It's a
Shaukweli,
it's
muna
you're
date.
dating for real
Eh.
because that's what dating. It's just ticked all the boxes of
Yeah.
dating.
Yeah.
So friends with benefits is like a gray area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about now on the flip side, an open relationship? Like you and your partner have said, okay, if you want to go and
That's okay.
do somebody with
Uh-huh.
somebody else,
You know,
it's
anyway.
okay. Is it messy? Is it progressive? Is
Before you
it?
before you proceed, I think people who want to be in open relationships have commitment issues, and you feel like you don't want to be tied down to this one person. So akitaka kwenda amepata like this is a better option, it's fine, let her go. But
Oh, si jam.
It's true. I think I'll base it on commitment issues. If you guys have watched Umjolo, I think it's called Umjolo, and I think it's a fast one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy has commitment issues. He loves the girl, he wants to marry her, but then he can't commit to having one intimate partner.
Yeah.
So he tells her, mimi niko na shida hapo. Kidogo imenilemea. So just know that I'll be having multiple partners, and because the girl wants to be with this guy, she chooses to stick with it, but also tells him hata mimi nitakuwa na multiple partners. But the guy has an issue with it. You see, he refuses, and he's like, okay, sawa nakubali, but then eventually he doesn't want it and he lies about it.
Yeah.
But he gets caught in the same thing. It's an addiction and you can't get out of it unless you choose. So
Yeah.
it's not, I don't know, it's doomed. I can say it's doomed as
Yeah,
well.
that's true. Okay. So, like we said, okay, I think you two said that it's necessary for you to tell somebody who you're hooking up with that you're talking to other people. Me, I said it's not a must. So now, hookups, now we had to Rafika at a talking stage, at a whatever. What do you think about ghosting? Like, sasa I'm not talking to you anymore because we don't even have a. I just went MIA. We had a one night stand. Nikapotea. You're trying to reach out. Me, I don't want. I'm not talking to you. Is ghosting really? Does it show emotional maturity? Are you trying to protect yourself? Like, what could be the justification there for ghosting?
okay, personally, I think okay, I feel like ghosting is like a form of coping mechanism. So you don't know how to speak it out. So you just want to disappear to avoid having that conversation. And I feel like it's valid, but I don't encourage ghosting.
Wasiseme
It's valid,
ulisema.
but I don't encourage it simply because it will end up hurting you more. You know, so it's better you just if it's a one night stand, yeah, ibaki hivyo. But it also comes down to don't know how to put it. Can you meet with someone and tell them, but this is a one night stand. After this, I don't want to see you. Ama, does it make sense to do that?
I think when we talk about hookup, when you tulisema tu mara ya kwanza, it has no emotional attachment. Me, if you ghost, you ghost. I mean, we have nothing tied to it. You get?
Yeah.
But it's very important to communicate. It's very
Yeah.
important. But if the intention from the word go from both ends is ini one night stand ama itu ni hivyo na imeisha. Usikuwa unatafuta mtu.
Yeah.
Mtafutane kama mnataka. Hivyo.
But ghosting just shows a lack of communication skills.
Yeah,
and
you
people
can't
need-
communicate.
You can just tell somebody, me, I
Imeisha
don't want to
hivyo.
talk to you no more. Yeah.
It's very important to communicate.
Also, mtu akikughost, ghostika.
Ghostika.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm entering a bit more of a sensitive topic. So let's say now you're in a relationship. Your partner cheats on you. You forgive each other. You're working on it. Do you think a cheater remains a cheater or they can change?
Maybe I still stick to the matter of choice. If someone wants to get out of it, they will. But then the partner who's not cheating in this case will have to extend so much grace for them to get out of that phase. And if you can't deal with that, just walk out because it will hurt the both of you.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of choice. If someone wants to stop cheating, they will. If they wanted to, they would. I still stick to that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. But personally, I don't think I can stay in a relationship after someone has cheated simply because you've broken my trust. And nitashinda tu nikijiuliza, anafanya nini sahi? You know, like I will not be okay.
Anxiety and insecurity.
Yes, in the relationship, and that's not healthy for the relationship. Also, I'd rather you just find your own path. You know, like if you want to change, well and good. If not, that's up to you. But leave me out of it respectfully.
Because if an
I also think if someone actually cheats, it's because they wanted something from that other person. So if you want to cheat, just leave me alone and go to the
so
person
you never
want.
think there can be an excuse for cheating. Babe, I was drunk. She came onto me.
You know,
There's never an excuse.
you can
for
choose.
cheating.
There is no excuse for cheating.
Okay.
There can't be an excuse. Labda wali-
Like, also it's important to like check why in the first place is somebody cheating. Is it because they're lacking somebody in something in this relationship? Is it because most of the time actually I think it's because they're lacking something in their current relationship which they find outside.
Yeah.
But now how can we eliminate cheating? Like how can
I
we
know. Even rebuilding after
that, I know.
it's so hard because you as a cheater, I think you'll always just try to compensate. You're like, oh my, I have to make up for what I did. I have to. And on the other side, the other one is like, either I'll take revenge on you
or this thing ends here and
yeah.
now. I think to be able to probably eradicate it, if that works, if it's possible, communicate from the word go. And communication is the key to solving nearly every problem.
Yeah.
If you feel like your partner isn't giving you what you want, communicate it. Don't go out and look for now someone who has it. Communicate it. And if you can't get to a middle line where no one feels like they've compromised too much, then that relationship can't work for you. Just choose a different path from there, knowing that this can't work for us.
And now you always have a choice. Like there's so many people who are willing to meet you
at the center. You don't have to go all the way to the other side. So there's really no excuse for cheating. And if everything is a matter of communication, I really think so. You can always avoid cheating if you communicate your expectations way beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important to have that.
Yo, imegonga.
I also want to ask, now you're already in marriage and your partner has cheated. What
is
what
cheating a deal breaker in marriage?
Sasa mumeshaoana, you've done everything, the dowry, your families have met, nini, and your partner amecheat.
I think it is an even bigger deal breaker in marriage than it is in dating. For me personally, we're filing divorce. Yeah, because we can't have come all this way for you to come and cheat on me when we are married.
Now that you've said it, can someone not cheat throughout their dating phase and then cheat in marriage? Is that even possible? Or wanna cheat chini ya maji?
Ndio maana nilianza na kusema is once a cheater always a cheater or
Once a cheater always a cheater
Yeah.
unless they choose to change. Hiyo inataka roho, si uongo. Hiyo inataka maombi na fasting, to be very honest, because I think it has more of a moral stand.
yeah.
Unajua mtu mwenye hana moral stand, kucheat si kitu. It doesn't even count and it doesn't even ring a bell to them. But if someone has moral standards, then they'll know cheating is something that they shouldn't do. And they shouldn't do it to their loved ones. So
Yeah.
if they actually make it a conscious choice to not do it, kidogo, but hapo kwa marriage ni ngumu. It's a really tough topic, more so with kids involved. I think we should just have a whole topic
yeah.
for this later on, because tukianza kusema tutaexceed that
Yeah.
but it's a tough topic and it has very many opinions and perspectives. I think I'll just say that.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's bring it down a bit.
Yeah.
Do you think you can remain friends, or do you think you should remain friends with your ex?
No. No.
Me, I think I can have a controversial opinion.
Uh-huh.
One, you can still remain friends. You don't have to be. Mi hata niko kwa no, but you can be friends. But only if, only if muliachana on proper grounds.
That is even the worst.
Uske, inye, for example, you know that your values.
Eri mwachane ile mbaya. Never talk to you again.
I mean, I feel okay. It's personal for me, I think, or it's a personal opinion where if tuliachana because our values do not align whatsoever, tulifika mali na tukarealize, you know what, I want probably a farmhouse and you want a modern life. Mi nataka kukaa ushago, nataka kuishi town. And we know that we cannot get to a middle ground. But that's not a serious thing. A serious thing would be what?
Maybe religion.
Religion, for example, exactly. You're Muslim, I'm Christian. And those two things cannot intermarry for me as a Christian. I can't compromise to be a Muslim or raise my children in a Muslim household. So knowing that won't work out and we break up on those terms, we can remain friends for me.
Okay.
Because hatukuachana on terrible terms, like ati tuliachana. Sasa what is the other reason? Cheating. Kama ni cheating, tunachana tu roho safi, tunaenda separate ways. We can't be friends.
Yeah.
I can't even think of having my friend become your friend because I know what your character is. But if it was on proper terms, knowing that our values do not align, we can still be friends. I can still call you up and tell you, you know what, I have a job opportunity. Why not try it? Give us that. We can still be friends.
Me, I feel like at the end of the day, these are two people who at one point or the other had feelings for each other. Now, so what if you meet again and now your values are aligning?
Okay. Alibatizwa. I always think it's not a compromise if they've changed. Yeah, I think if we separated in the sense that our values are not aligned, in this sense, as he's Muslim, I'm Christian, sindio, it can't work out. So tunachana. And if later on I realize ama tunapatana and you know what, tulipatana kwa kanisa. Tunafanya hiyo harusi vizuri sana. Because okay, that is if you're not dating someone and I'm not dating someone else, and if I still feel like you're the right partner for me.
So on that note, should you ever get back with an ex? Like, do you think?
Kuna hii msemo ati ni ng'ombe ama ni mbwa haiwezi kula matapiko yake, you know. And there had to be a good enough reason why you did not work out with this person. So why would you take yourself back? You know? What do you think?
It's tricky.
It's
tricky because sometimes, like you said, you can meet each other again later, and now your values are aligning. You already mlikuwa msha establish, you know, we know each other. Like we've been here before, so we can try again. But I don't think you experience the same person the same.
The experiences will become very different.
It'll be very, very different. Yeah.
Mimi ukiniuliza hapo kidogo, I think I'm on the middle here. I think you shouldn't go back to them, but at the same time, I think you shouldn't go back to them based on your last interactions. If this person cheated and they had no remorse whatsoever, and they were just nonchalant and everything else, that's not a good place for you. But if you left each other on the point that our values do not align and we can't move forward from this phase, that is the only limiting thing for us to go forward. And you get back together and your values align, and you still think that this person is the right partner for you and this person is the right partner for me, I think you can have unajua experiences become different if something bad happened, I think. But if you had a good moment throughout and the only thing that iliwakosanisha, si kukosanisha really, but the thing that separated you two was just one specific value or a few values that could be aligned later on, I think you can always get back together. I think you can.
Okay. Now, do you think emotional cheating is worse than physical cheating? Emotional cheating in this case would be like, I am I'm in a relationship, but I'm talking to this person and wow, we talk about the deepest things and I know their trauma. I know things about them that people don't know, but we haven't slept together. Like, yeah, we haven't done anything. So, do you think that is worse than I've had a one night stand and I've never talked to that person again?
Okay. At the end of the day, I think cheating is just cheating. But for us women, I think we get more like there are more cases of us cheating emotionally than physically. And I think everything starts in the mind. So ukishaanza you're drawn to this person emotionally, you'll eventually
Bound to be drawn
get
physically.
to the physical. So
Cheating is cheating.
Yeah, I think I second that. Cheating is just cheating. Hakuna venye uta justify ingine. But yeah, cheating is cheating. Lakini hapo kwa physical, please don't try it with people. Si kuzuri, yeah.
Okay, so now this one is a bit interesting because okay, I'll tell you why later. Do you think a relationship can survive without sex?
My opinion, it can. Yes, it can. Based on principle. What do you people want to get out of it? What are your values? For example, if you are committed to not having sex before marriage, or at least waiting till marriage, it can work very well because now your principles and your guidelines allow it to work in that manner. But if you are not principled in that way and your partner is principled in that way, it can't work. Yeah, you have to have the same idea of a relationship, or at least you have to have the same idea.
You have to be aligned.
Yeah,
Your
you have
values
to be aligned together for it to work. If I value keeping myself for marriage, I won't value someone who does not keep themselves for marriage, or we won't work well. Tutakosana.
yeah, I think I agree it can. If you're on the same wavelength with your partner, if you guys have agreed, okay, both of us, me, Ivo. But it's 2025.
I know.
And yeah, maybe initially in the relationship we've agreed, no sex. I am okay with that. My partner is okay with that. But what if hapo katikati my partner feels like, hey, I cannot do this anymore,
Yeah.
and tells you, of course, atakwambia can't do this anymore.
Or let's put it this way now. You are in a relationship. You two have been physically involved. You've been doing it for years. And then your partner now comes up and tells you, you know what? I want us to be celibate.
Hiyo itakuwa ngumu.
Do you think that can work?
Yeah,
It's very hard.
It's very
very hard and very complicated.
I'm a victim.
Tell us more.
Oh, no.
You may attend.
That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, but in short, it
actually,
didn't work.
Yeah. For relationships to work, basically, like it takes a lot of things. Wansemanga love is not enough. So there's also the aspect of the physical, emotional, financial, nini. So you have to have all these things in place for them to work. And they should complement each other. Let me not say this in a bad way, but imagine a relationship where you're only getting sex. There's no money. Okay, siko baya. There's no money. Hata muongee vitu constructive, amufanyi,
We're
plans,
not doing
you're not
going out.
Yeah, so they like
You
they
have
have
to
to
eat for me,
complement
please.
each other. Yeah, for a relationship to work.
Sasa audience imetupea maswali moto moto hapa. So if a partner cheated and became remorseful, would you forgive him or her?
Hey.
Personally. Na sasa hizi ni personal.
Personally, as Sandra, I've been advised once before. If someone does it once and they ask for forgiveness and they are remorseful and they seem like they can change, forgive that one time. But if it is done again, walk out. One way, never to look back.
Hayo ni maoni ya Sandra.
Hiyo ni maoni yangu. Hiyo ni personal opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it's tricky because what made you cheat? Yani mi nitabaki tu nikijiuliza maswali like what did I do wrong? But makosa si kosa sio kosa ni kurudia kosa. So in that aspect, and it also depends on what we've built as partners. As sasa tumeingia 1 month umesha cheat. I know.
Walk out.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, for me.
I think it's the same for me. It really does depend on your connection, and not only your connection. Like, is this a life that you want to build for each other?
Exactly.
Like, but why did you cheat? You know, always in the back of your head, you're always going to be thinking, yeah. Anyway, mtatuambia kwa comments maoni yenu. Next, how can you deal with someone who pretends during the talking stage and then after now appears to be a different person?
Run away. Like,
but you never know, because people don't show their real intentions when we're dating. And I think, you know what, maybe we need people who counsel people about dating and how to navigate, because I think in this day and age people are just doing anything. You're just going into something, putting up a face so that somebody loves you, and then now later they come to discover, and then now you act like you're hurt.
True. Me think on that note about think we should really have sessions where, because you need to seriously.
I know.
But I think we should have sessions. Shindwe. We should have sessions where we have older people who are 40 years into marriage, who had experiences, to mentor us into knowing that this is how it is. Because actually, si tunafikiranga marriage probably ni honeymoon phase throughout, but then there are the hard parts of marriage. There are the parts where you lose a loved one. There are the parts where your husband loses a job and you have to go through that phase. So I think we should have that. But nimeenda out of track. Remind me the question.
How do you deal with somebody who pretends when you're in the talking stage and then later unakuja discover?
Just walk away.
Walk
away, because if, for example, from the start you showed me that this is you, probably, twende kwa hapo kwa pesa, kijana anakushawa na pesa hapo kwa talking stage, anakubariki left, right and center, and then anapiga campaign, and then amesha kupatia expectations and standards, and then sasa anakuja kwa relationship and then they underperform, haizi maintain, ilikuwa ya kudanganya. And that's now what you want out of it. So if you're not truthful from the start, it won't work. For example, if you're someone who's really angered all the time, or at least you're triggered by small things, lakini ukiwa kwa relationship, mwanzo wa talking stage, hakuna kitu inakusumbua wewe. Wacha tufike first week of dating. Any small thing I do irritates you, and then you get angry. It can't work unless you sit down and now streamline and tell me now, ni hinjo nafaa ku expect ama ni chenye ulinipatia from the word. So I think yeah,
I agree. Also, if you feel like you have to pretend to be somebody else,
that's not the space for you.
You're in the wrong place.
But also, like you were saying, like we need to be advised by people who've been there. Their dating and our dating is very, very different.
Can I ask? Sorry. Now, I think I support that our dating and the dating was very different, but marriage has the same concept all around. Right? I believe marriage has the same concept. And if we're all dating with the mindset that we want to get married, then I think they can give us advice. But hapo kwa dating ni sisi tuna our own ideas. But for marriage has the same concept, I believe so, unless you have totally different values from what people around you have. But I think I would just say that.
So kuna swali ya mwisho hapa. Can someone change because of someone? I'm assuming this is either on the positive or the negative.
Yeah, I believe you can. Like if I'm in a relationship and this person is pushing me to, not pushing me like literally, but I can see them doing well for themselves. Naona huyu anamkanga 5
Anaenda
anaomba,
gym,
things like that.
they have their life going
Then
on. Even you want to get better.
exactly, that's on the positive. On the negative, people can also turn you into a bad person unknowingly and knowingly.
Because people can condition you to tolerate their bad behaviors.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, you'll see them flirting with somebody, and then they'll tell you, like,
Ni normal.
normal.
that's just how I talk. That's who I am. So they can make you a very resentful person as well.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't comment anything more other than it can be a positive and it can be a negative impact. And don't let yourself be impacted negatively. Just walk out and choose to just get all the positives if you can.
Yeah. Okay. Does money matter more than love in a relationship?
Mi nishaisikia mtu akisema tutakula mapenzi. You know, but again, money matters, to be honest, in a relationship or marriage. Both.
Yeah.
It works both ways. I think it does. But I still think it weighs more on what you want. For example, Mimi, assuming in this sense, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. I don't want to work. I don't want to bother myself. Mi nitaka tu nichunge nyumba na everything. Money will definitely matter. Money will matter because I don't bring anything to the table money-wise. So you have to have money. But if I work and I want to put my money into our house, into our investments, it still matters, lakini pesa ina matter. Nimeachia hapo, nimeona
Yeah.
ina matter.
Now, on that, do you have something to
No,
say
I
before?
agree, I agree.
Haya. What do you think about 50-50? Now you're dating. Now this is your boyfriend
Dating,
looking towards marriage.
for me, it's my opinion. When we're dating, I can't really say 50-50. 50-50 is not a proper number to work with. But I would say if we go on dates, you can pay for food, I pay for drinks. If we go out for a date night, you can pay for the movies, I buy popcorn. You get things like that. Things like that. But ikifika hapo kwa marriage, I can't do 50-50 in marriage. Because I can't do nishajitangaza, but that's the honest truth. I can't do 50-50 in marriage. Let it be my own choice too, to say I want to invest in this. I want to cater for shopping for the house and everything. But it shouldn't be a must, my opinion. It shouldn't be a must for me to contribute to a family income once you're married. Tukifika hapo kwa umekuja nyumbani, you should actually start doing most of the bills. But I should offer my assistance if I'm earning, it should come from me, not from you. It shouldn't be a demand.
Yeah, of course, if I'm earning as the lady and we've sat down, we've discussed, of course, maybe your earnings are higher than mine, you cannot expect us to go 50-50. It's just a matter of common sense. And I feel like ladies, we need to be we need to just relax and enjoy ourselves. Sasa wikuja wanze kuniambia mambo ya 50-50. And I also probably have my own things going on the side, of which it's not bad. I'm not discouraging 50-50. If you can, then fine. But also, usikae hapo as a lady, you know your man is doing this is going to come out so badly. But like, help your man, you know, like if you can, when you can, help him and let it be known to him that I'm helping you, but you know, like just have that discussion with him, because finances, by the way, are an important
It's usually a very touchy subject, but I think you guys just have to have constant communication. Every day if necessary, every week. You can do even like a small days to do your budgeting.
I think it also stands on expectations. Unaweza kuwa na date mtu na expectations yake ni you do 50-50. Ama he knows whatever he wants out of this relationship is that hata tuoane, you're paying for the children's school fees, mi nilipe nyumba. You know, they have expectations. So if you communicate it from the start, that's why I think they usually say finances can break marriages. In this case, it's a very, very big topic. And so I think you really have to talk about it. If someone wants to cater for everything, let them be open about it. Utapata independent woman hapa akwambie, you can't do that for me. Exactly. So it's
Communication.
Communication is
Communication.
very important. Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you think it is shallow to have a physical type? Like, me napenda light skin,
Right.
napenda whatever. Because sometimes, you'll see a really beautiful girl and then the man is like, medium ugly. And you're like, why are you guys together? So do you think it's shallow to have a physical type, or like, is it it's okay because it's your preference? Because you can have your type physically, but he's not your type in other
Yeah.
aspects.
My opinion is it's not shallow. I
Mm.
was reading a book that was asking why are you marrying? In this case,
Mm.
nimesahau jina, but it talks about the whys for marriage. So, assuming, let's put it this way, you have no physical standards, like hauna physical standards, and then you get the guy mwenye ana fit all the other things, lakini ukifika hivi ukimwona tu hivi unasema wa unakasirika. And that book really advises us, in as much as we shouldn't base our wise on the physical part, it is also important that you like or love the outlook of the person. Yeah,
Ndio
it
maana
doesn't
napenda
remain
pop
the
the
same.
balloon. Because you see somebody first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because laugh, the other honest thing is when someone sees you first, they can't see your character and your
Yeah.
heart, they see the physical first. So it's an important thing. Juu aki kusema kweli, it matters. You
Yeah.
can't utapata watoto anamfanana na labda utafurahia, you
Ukasirike,
get.
unaona tu watoto nakasirika.
So in as much as usijitafutie makosa zenye utaki bure, yeah, because you might like someone's heart and everything, but ukiangalia sura unachoka, it might build resentment over time, which you wouldn't want in a relationship or
Yeah.
marriage.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very important to have a type. Otherwise, the universe will just give you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just it also circles back to what I was saying about writing what you want to the T. Yeah, so that you know also what you want. Otherwise, any Tom, Dick, and Harry will be coming to say hi to you.
Yeah.
And
You
say,
akubali
"Yes,
too.
sir."
Yeah. Yeah. Have standards.
Yeah.
Do you think that you should be fully healed for you to start pursuing dating again after maybe a bad relationship? Because I think some people are really obsessed with like
Healing.
me. You even
Yeah.
miss somebody who would be is very good for you because you are obsessing over healing.
Yeah.
It's not bad to heal. I would say, let me start. It's not bad to
Yeah.
heal, but I think you should also not close yourself off from. But it's a very thin line now
It
because you're
is.
like, am I looking for something? Am I just
Trying
doing
to-
this for the sake of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
About healing, I think,
As a psychologist.
yeah, healing is not linear. So you cannot say you cannot put a date to the day you'll heal. Useme by this time I'll have healed. Okay, yes, you might have healed, but the person is nowhere. So you are alone. Alafu, I think if you find someone along your journey of healing, even better for you, because you never know. This could be somebody who has come to actually help you in your healing journey, So let's not fixate our minds
So
on I
much.
must heal first, I must work on me first, because that's over fixating
Yeah.
and it's not healthy.
I think you're actually just running away from
You're bad.
experiences.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think you can get back into dating while still healing, because it's not linear. You might say you've healed, and then 3 years from now you realize, actually, I haven't healed from that person. So don't close yourself off, but if you have a clear line of what you want out of dating during that phase, go on and date. But if you're just dating to just have a good time and have no emotional, you're starting come to hook up to say to get yourself over someone. But you can date while you're still healing.
Yeah. I think we already answered this, but you can just yes or no. Do you believe in love at first sight?
Love and attraction.
Exactly. Now,
There's that. I
yeah.
think
Is it love or is it lust?
that's last.
Yeah.
Plain and period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love at first sight near fairy tales.
Love at first sight is last because you like the outward appearance, but it can therefore progress to a proper relationship
Yeah.
if you have aligned values. Yeah.
Okay. Jealousy. okay, let's say for example, you're a girl and some guy is coming to talk to you and your boyfriend sees it. Would you want him to be like, I don't want you talking to that guy, because it shows, he cares, or would you rather just a secure man who does not care what you're doing? Which one is would you rather?
Me personally, I think I like both, a bit of both. If you are secure, then
It's a thin line.
okay, juu usiponiuliza who is that, I'll be like, ai mbona niulize, like, and I think we're not used to secure men.
Yeah.
That's why we keep questioning, mbona niulize, things like that. But
And
it's
women,
really nice to have
tunaweza
a
kuwa
secure man.
wachokozi pia.
Yeah, we can be poking the beehive, but it's nice to have a secure man because also pia you'll not do things to upset him, you'll not. Yeah, so
I think the best way to put it is a guy can be secure or a lady can be secure, but they can still be jealous. We even have a very jealous God. I mean, so jealousy, I think jealousy is very normal. I think jealousy is very normal because I wouldn't want to see my man in this case with someone in nione msichana mwingine anajibebesha hapo, I'll be very jealous. But then if you're a secure partner, it's very important for you to get to the secure part. Sikuna anxious, avoidant, and secure. So if I am anxiously attached, I will pester you and be like, what's going on? Who's this? Who's this? If you're avoidant, you won't talk about it, and then it will build resentment in you. But even as a secure partner, you are very jealous. You are very jealous. And as a secure partner, then you should just confront them in the sense of, who's this? Is he your friend? Able to, and talk about it, and it ends at that point. Exactly.
So I think, okay, similar. Would you rather like a slow burn relationship, like we get to know each slowly, slowly? It's not passionate, but I like you. Or would you rather, I've seen
Mambo
you
ni
and I
moto.
want to, oh my, I want, would you rather that? Yeah. Personal again, hata kwa comments mnaweza tuambia, which one would you rather?
I think I would go with a slow burn.
But a slow burn can get a bit boring because now you're like,
Mimi siwezi fanya ikwe boring. Nataka slow burn yenye si boring. Like, how best should I put it? A slow burn in the sense of we take things extremely slow to understand each other. By the time tunawaka moto vizuri, we have nothing that we've left hapo nyuma. But hii ingine munaenda moto and then now the hard parts now start hitting. And if you don't have someone who's very secure, hiyo inaisha tu hapo. Inabaki kwa memories. Yeah.
what do you think, Kizito? Which one would you rather?
I think I'd rather both. That makes sense. Let it slow burn, but let there also be passion. Juu sitaki tena kuboeka, and at the same time, I don't want it to be all about the passion. Like I want us to also get to understand each other. So a little bit of both.
So I have a question to you. I am assuming you've dealt with a lot of clients wamepitia kwa mikono yako. Do you think some people use therapy as a way to avoid accountability? They'll just say, me, I've gone to therapy, I figured out this is who I am. Yeah, I can't change.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, not most, but some people use it as an escape to face their problems. Okay, yes, they're going for therapy, but hawasaidiki, they're just trying to bring they've entered therapy with a specific intention. And my intention is to prove to people that
Me, I'm okay.
Yeah, mentally, I'm going for therapy because somehow you can't tell me anything. And when you enter therapy with that mentality, you won't be helped. So yeah, it's very possible that there are some people out here who are using therapy as a
mask.
a mask.
Okay. Do you have anything to say about that?
Mimi si therapist, lakini I think it's the same. If your intentions from the word go to therapy is to prove to people that you're safe, I think safe is the right word. Safe mentally and emotionally. It's just to prove, but you're not actually going through the process of healing or being safe for these people, then it's the wrong thing. Then you're just having a mask. But if you're going to therapy for the right reasons to heal and become a better partner, become a better partner, then it's the right thing.
Yeah. And this is not to discourage therapy in any way. all of us here on the bench are pro therapy. She's a
Yeah.
therapist. Yes. So yeah, that's not to discourage it. Would you rather be with somebody who you have like the same love languages, or would you rather akwe na zingine wewe ukwe na zingine and then you meet each other halfway?
I think it's very okay for them to have their own different languages, love languages. But then, am I capable of meeting them? That's the question. Because they might be a physical person and I'm not. And to be honest, I cannot compromise it. So that means it won't work. It's very okay for them to have them, but will they align with my principles, with my values, or at least with what I'm interested in
Yeah.
at the time? But it works better or is easier when you have same love languages. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. So that's why sometimes they say opposites attract, but now when we end up in relationships, you're like, me, I want to love you the way I know how to love. Sometimes it's hard to love somebody the
The way
way
they
they
want to
want
be loved.
to be loved. Yeah. So it's good when your values align. So opposites don't attract. I don't know. Matter of contention. It depends. I think there's never a right or wrong answer. It's always it depends. Okay. So we're winding down now. Um let's give our parting shots. What do you think about now our whole conversation and about how people should navigate dating? Maybe like going into it with, okay, let me give mine. For I think we've had a very wholesome conversation, and there's definitely a distinction between just hooking up and dating, because dating seems to be leading to something bigger. I think we should just lead with pure intentions. We lead with honesty. When itachukuliwa, itachukuliwa hivyo. If somebody doesn't want to be with you from the beginning, let it be known, because it's not right to go into something somebody else is more emotionally invested than you are, and then you end up hurting them. Yeah, we've become a bit desensitized, I think, as a generation, because you're like, me. What do I want? What you don't care about other people, but there are people at the end of the day. They have feelings. They have. They'll feel bad if you take advantage of them. So let's navigate it carefully, I would say.
Okay, me, I'd just like to say thank you for this conversation. It's been
Yeah.
very wholesome. I feel like we could go on and on and on
Yeah,
and
yeah.
on, but yeah, my parting shot basically is actually kuna watu wazuri huku nje, like they are very good people, guys, and I'm telling you, yeah, you just have to. I don't say okay, yeah, you have to work on yourself, of course, but you also have to be in that vibration, that frequency of receiving, the good things in life, the good people in life. So when you see somebody who's good to you, actually don't question it. Okay, yeah, you can, but don't over question. Like you also have to be cautious at the end of the day, but there are actually some good people out here. Yeah, let's just give love a chance. And the way Melody is saying, like, let's try and this generation of ours is quite toxic. So let's try and remove the toxicity and be that generation that Sandra was talking about, like the 40-year-olds who are married and thriving. Yeah.
Think I was trying to look for a quote then in Tapata. But my parting shot, me, I'm just grateful to be here again and again and again. It's such a beautiful space. And on matters hookups, I'll advise you it's not good for your mental health, please. But dating is a piece of work. It takes a lot from both ends. It takes a lot of compromise only if you're dating with the intention of an end goal, which is probably marriage. But if you're dating for a good time, well and good. But dating takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and love is such a beautiful thing. Taka kupendwa kidogo, hapa na pale. Yeah, and what else? What else would I say about love? Love is such a beautiful thing, I would say, and don't skip the opportunity to find a proper kind of love. Yeah, I think that would be it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. We've had an amazing conversation. You can continue the conversation in the comments. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah,
Bye.
Bye.